God's warning: never give up on a chosen one. You'll regret it. There is someone whose face haunts your dreams, someone whose name echoes in the silence of your prayers, someone you thought you had forgotten, yet they return like whispers from eternity itself. If you are watching this video right now, it is because the universe has orchestrated this moment. This is not random. This is revelation. And what I am about to share will shatter everything you thought you knew about love, destiny, and the invisible threads that bind souls across lifetimes. The ancient mystics understood something that modern minds have forgotten. They knew that certain souls are bound together by threads invisible to the physical eye, yet stronger than any earthly chain. These are not ordinary connections born of fleeting attraction or temporary need. These are sacred assignments, written in the cosmic blueprint long before your first breath touched this world. You who are awakened know this truth intimately. You have felt the pull, that inexplicable magnetism that defies logic and transcends time. You have tried to sever these ethereal bonds through distance, through denial, through the desperate pursuit of other connections. Yet, like a river that always finds its way to the sea, this soul continues to flow back into your existence. But here is what most fail to understand about these divine encounters. They are not sent to complete you, as the romantics would have you believe. They are sent to transform you. They arrive as catalysts for your spiritual evolution, mirrors that reflect not only your light, but also the shadows you have spent lifetimes trying to avoid. This is why these connections feel simultaneously like coming home and stepping into a battlefield. Your soul recognizes what it has always known, while your human self recoils from the intensity of transformation that such recognition demands. The Cosmic Conspiracy. Listen carefully, for what I am about to reveal will illuminate the shadows of your confusion. The forces of darkness work tirelessly to corrupt and destroy these divine connections. When two souls carry a mission that threatens the kingdom of shadow, when their union promises to heal generational wounds and illuminate paths for others, the opposition becomes fierce. This is why your journey feels laden with obstacles. This is why clarity seems elusive. This is why pain often accompanies the sacred. But understand this eternal truth. Spiritual warfare is not evidence of error. It is confirmation of purpose. The dark forces know something that you are only beginning to remember. They understand that when certain souls unite in divine purpose, reality itself shifts. Timelines alter, generational curses break, ancient prophecies fulfill themselves. And this terrifies the entities that feed on humanity's separation and suffering. This is why they send confusion at every turn, why they manifest obstacles that seem insurmountable, why they whisper doubts in the quiet moments when your faith wavers. They know that your surrender to this divine assignment poses a direct threat to their dominion over human consciousness. The sacred geometry of souls. The wise ones of old distinguished between two types of human connection. The first they called emotional attachment, fleeting bonds forged in the fires of temporary desire. These connections burn bright and fade quickly, leaving only ashes of memory. But the second type, what they termed soul recognition, transcends the boundaries of time and flesh. These are eternal contracts, signed in the realm of spirit before incarnation. When you encounter a soul contract connection, the recognition is immediate and undeniable. It bypasses the rational mind entirely, speaking directly to the cellular memory that carries the imprint of countless lifetimes. Your body responds before your brain can process. Your heart opens before your walls can rise. Your spirit celebrates before your fears can protest. This recognition often manifests as an inexplicable sense of familiarity with someone you have just met. You find yourself speaking truths you have never shared with another living soul. You feel understood at levels that previous relationships never reached. Time becomes irrelevant in their presence, as if you exist together in a pocket dimension where ordinary rules do not apply. But here lies the great paradox that confuses so many awakened souls. This profound connection often comes packaged in the most challenging circumstances. The person may be unavailable, geographically distant, emotionally wounded, or walking a path that seems incompatible with yours. This is not accidental. This is the universe's way of ensuring that you develop spiritual muscles before attempting to carry the weight of such a sacred bond. The alchemy of spiritual transformation. Soul connection will not comfort you with easy affection. Instead, it will mirror your deepest shadows, challenging you to transform what you would rather keep hidden. It will demand patience when you crave immediate gratification. It will require forgiveness when resentment feels justified. It will ask you to love without conditions when your human heart screams for reciprocation. This is the crucible of the awakened ones. This is how the universe forges instruments of divine purpose. The alchemical process begins the moment you acknowledge the connection. Your entire energetic system starts to recalibrate, shedding frequencies that no longer serve your highest evolution. Old patterns of relating begin to dissolve. Limiting beliefs about love and worthiness rise to the surface for examination and release. You find yourself questioning everything you thought you knew about relationships, compatibility, and timing. This process can feel overwhelming, even destructive at times. You may experience intense emotional purging as layers of conditioning fall away. You might find yourself crying for reasons you cannot explain, or feeling waves of energy that seem to come from nowhere. These are not signs of instability. They are symptoms of expansion. Your consciousness is literally rewiring itself to accommodate a frequency of love that transcends human understanding. The discomfort you feel is not punishment. It is the growing pains of spiritual maturation. The mystery of divine timing. You may wonder why this person appears broken, why they seem to run from the very light you offer. Here lies the mystery that confounds the uninitiated. Sometimes the souls most resistant to love are precisely those who need it most desperately. They fight the connection not because it lacks meaning, but because its power terrifies them. They sense the transformation it demands, and their wounded spirit recoils from change. Your role in their story is not to force awakening, but to hold steady in your own light. You are the lighthouse, not the ship. You illuminate the path without abandoning your sacred post. But there is another layer to this mystery that few comprehend. Sometimes, the resistance you encounter is not coming from the person themselves, but from the unhealed aspects of their lineage. Generational trauma has a voice, and it will fight fiercely to maintain familiar patterns of pain and separation. When you love someone with soul recognition intensity, you are not just loving them. You are loving their ancestors, their descendants, and every wounded aspect of their eternal spirit. This is why the healing that occurs through these connections ripples across time itself. As you maintain your loving presence in the face of their resistance, you are literally dissolving karmic debts that have been accumulating for generations. Your patience becomes a healing balm for wounds that predate this lifetime. Your forgiveness breaks chains that have bound souls for centuries. If these words resonate with the deepest chambers of your soul, if you recognize yourself in this ancient wisdom, I invite you to join our community of awakened souls. Subscribe to the Light of Wisdom and ring the notification bell. Together, we illuminate the mysteries that the sleeping world cannot perceive. Your presence in our community strengthens the collective field of consciousness that supports all divine connections currently incarnating on Earth, the language of synchronicity. The path of the chosen is often misunderstood by those who measure love in conventional terms. Friends and family may counsel you to abandon this connection, to seek easier partnerships, to silence the call of your spirit in favor of practical comfort. They mean well, but they cannot see the spiritual architecture underlying your experience. They cannot perceive the golden threads that connect your essence to another across the dimensions of time and space. This is when the universe begins to speak to you in the language of synchronicity. Numbers will follow you. Names will appear in impossible places. Songs will play at perfect moments. Dreams will carry messages that your waking mind struggles to decode. The very fabric of reality begins to conspire on behalf of your divine assignment, sending confirmation after confirmation that you are walking a sacred path. Learn to read these signs like the mystics of old. When you see repeated number sequences, especially master numbers like 1111, 2222, or 3333, the universe is telling you that your thoughts and intentions are aligned with divine will. When you encounter the name of your soul connection unexpectedly, reality is reminding you that the bond remains active regardless of physical distance or apparent separation. Pay attention to the animals that cross your path, for they often carry messages from the spirit realm. Birds appearing at significant moments may indicate divine messengers bringing news of your connection. Butterflies suggest transformation is occurring even when you cannot see the evidence. Dragonflies remind you that illusions are dissolving, revealing the truth that lies beneath surface appearances. These synchronicities are not products of an overactive imagination. They are communications from the realm of spirit, confirmations that your mission continues, reminders that divine love never abandons its assignments. The seasons of separation. There will be seasons of separation, moments when the divine choreographer pulls you apart to refine your individual frequencies. In these times of apparent abandonment, do not mistake the silence for rejection. The universe is not punishing you. It is preparing you. Like a master jeweler who subjects precious stones to intense pressure to reveal their inner brilliance, these periods of solitude are designed to strengthen your spiritual capacity. These separations serve multiple purposes in the grand design of your soul's evolution. First, they force you to develop a relationship with the divine that is independent of any human connection. You learn to find completion within yourself, to access peace that does not depend on another's presence or validation. This is essential preparation, for divine assignments require individuals who are whole unto themselves. Second, these periods create space for healing work that cannot occur in the intensity of connection. Old wounds need quiet to mend. Limiting beliefs require solitude to dissolve. Your energy field needs time to recalibrate to higher frequencies without the distraction of trying to merge with another's vibration. Third, separation allows both souls to gather experiences and wisdom that will serve the eventual reunion. You may need to develop certain skills, clear specific karma, or reach particular levels of consciousness before you can effectively serve your joint mission. The universe is incredibly efficient. Nothing is wasted. Every experience during separation is purposeful preparation. During these times, you may feel forgotten by the divine. You may wonder if you imagined the entire connection. This is when your faith is tested most severely. This is when you discover whether your commitment to the mission is stronger than your attachment to specific outcomes. This is when you learn the difference between loving someone and needing them. The spiritual physics of divine love. You are learning to love without possessing. You are developing patience that transcends human understanding. You are discovering how to hold space for another's journey without sacrificing your own sacred path. These are the skills of the spiritually mature, the tools of those called to serve as bridges between worlds. Divine love operates according to spiritual physics that most humans do not understand. Unlike earthly love, which often seeks to capture and control, divine love expands through release. The more space you give, the stronger the connection becomes. The less you grasp, the more naturally the beloved flows toward you. This paradox confounds the ego, but delights the soul. When you truly love someone with divine love, you want their highest good, even if it temporarily excludes you. You celebrate their growth even when it takes them away from you. You hold them in light even when they cannot see their own radiance. This is the love that healers, mystics, and avatars have demonstrated throughout history. It is love that serves evolution rather than ego. But do not mistake this for passive acceptance of unacceptable behavior. Divine love includes fierce boundaries. It says yes to the soul's highest potential while saying no to expressions that dishonor that potential. Learning to navigate this balance is one of the greatest challenges facing those walking the path of sacred connection. Deeper mystery. What the sleeping masses cannot comprehend is that some connections operate beyond the realm of physical proximity. Your mission may not be to stand beside this soul in the conventional sense. Instead, you may serve as their spiritual guardian, holding them in the light of your prayers when darkness threatens to consume them. You may be their anchor in the unseen realm, providing energetic stability while they navigate their earthly lessons. Do not underestimate the power of your spiritual presence. Every moment you choose faith over doubt, love over resentment, hope over despair, you send ripples across the fabric of reality. Your steadfastness creates openings for divine intervention. Your refusal to abandon the mission keeps pathways of possibility alive. The mystics taught that prayer is the language of the soul, and your whispered petitions on behalf of this connection echo through the chambers of eternity. Each tear you shed waters the seeds of future healing. Each night you resist the temptation to close your heart forever strengthens the foundation of what is to come. But there is an even deeper layer to this mystery. Sometimes your divine assignment is not about this lifetime at all. Sometimes you are clearing karma for a future incarnation when the timing will be right for full union. Sometimes you are healing patterns that will benefit souls not yet born. Sometimes your love in this lifetime creates the foundation for a connection that will transform the world in times to come. This requires a level of spiritual maturity that few possess. It asks you to love without timeline, to serve without seeing results, to remain faithful to possibilities that exist beyond your current perception. This is the love of the Bodhisattvas, those who vow to remain connected to suffering until all beings are free. The activation codes. Your divine connection carries within it activation codes for both souls involved. These are spiritual DNA sequences that unlock dormant potentials, awaken hidden gifts, and accelerate evolutionary processes. When two souls with matching activation codes come into contact, reality itself begins to shift around them. You may have noticed unusual abilities emerging since this connection began. Perhaps your intuition has sharpened dramatically. Maybe you have started receiving downloads of information about healing, spirituality, or humanity's future. You might find yourself drawn to ancient wisdom traditions or feeling compelled to share spiritual insights with others. These are not coincidences. They are evidence that your soul's mission is beginning to activate. The connection is serving as a catalyst, awakening aspects of your consciousness that have been dormant until now. This is part of the divine design. Soul connections are not just about personal fulfillment. They are about planetary service. The gifts awakening within you are meant to be shared with the world. Your enhanced sensitivity, your deeper compassion, your expanded awareness are tools for healing humanity's collective wounds. This is why the connection often feels larger than yourself, because it is. You are being prepared to serve as a conduit for divine love in a world that desperately needs healing. The galactic perspective. From the perspective of higher dimensions, Earth is currently undergoing a massive consciousness upgrade. Humanity is evolving from a species driven by survival and separation to one motivated by love and unity. This transition requires the incarnation of souls who carry the codes for this new way of being. Your divine connection is part of this larger mission. You and your soul counterpart have volunteered to anchor frequencies of divine love that will help stabilize the planetary grid during this transition. Your willingness to love unconditionally, to forgive endlessly, to hope against all odds contributes to the collective awakening of humanity. This is why these connections feel so intense. You are not just processing your own karma. You are clearing ancestral patterns for your entire lineage. You are healing wounds that extend across species, across dimensions, across time itself. The love you generate through this connection feeds the morphic field that surrounds Earth, making it easier for other souls to access these higher frequencies of love. When you feel overwhelmed by the intensity of your feelings, remember that you are not alone in carrying this energy. You are part of a vast network of light workers, star seeds, and awakened souls who have incarnated specifically to anchor divine love during this critical time in human history. The recognition signs. Pay attention to the synchronicities that dance around this connection. Notice how their name appears just when you question the validity of your feelings. Observe how dreams carry messages that your waking mind struggles to decode. See how the universe arranges seemingly random encounters that reignite the flame of recognition. But there are subtler signs as well. You may find yourself thinking of them moments before they contact you. You might wake up knowing they are going through a difficult time, only to have this confirmed later. You could experience sudden shifts in your energy field that coincide with significant events in their life. These phenomena indicate that you are operating with a shared energy field. Your consciousness is entangled at quantum levels, allowing for information exchange that transcends physical communication methods. Scientists are beginning to recognize that consciousness is non-local, that awareness can operate beyond the constraints of space and time. Your connection demonstrates this principle in action. You are living proof that love creates quantum entanglement between souls, allowing for communication and energy exchange across any distance. This is not metaphor. This is measurable spiritual physics in action. The twin flame phenomenon. Some of you watching this may recognize your connection as what is commonly called a twin flame relationship. This term describes a soul that has split into two expressions for the purpose of accelerated spiritual evolution. Twin flames are essentially one soul experiencing itself through two bodies, creating the ultimate mirror for growth and transformation. Twin flame connections are among the most challenging spiritual assignments on Earth. They require each soul to face every shadow, heal every wound, and transcend every limitation before union becomes possible. This is why twin flame relationships often involve periods of intense conflict, sudden separations, and seemingly impossible obstacles. But the purpose is not suffering for its own sake. The purpose is the rapid acceleration of consciousness that occurs when one soul loves another aspect of itself so completely that all barriers to divine love dissolve. When twin flames achieve true union, they become a single point of light that can illumine vast areas of consciousness. If you recognize your connection as a twin flame bond, understand that patience is not just a virtue, it is a necessity. These relationships operate on soul time, not human time. Forcing outcomes or trying to manipulate timing only creates more separation. Your job is to focus on your own healing and awakening, trusting that when both flames are ready, reunion occurs naturally. The call to endurance. This is not a message encouraging you to accept abuse or to remain in harmful situations. The truly awakened learn to distinguish between toxic cycles and divine assignments. They develop discernment that allows them to love unconditionally while maintaining healthy boundaries. They understand that sometimes the most loving action is to step back and create space for healing. But stepping back is not the same as giving up. Creating distance is not equivalent to abandoning the mission. Sometimes, the greatest service you can provide is to demonstrate unwavering faith in someone's highest potential while refusing to enable their lowest behaviors. Divine love includes fierce compassion. It refuses to participate in patterns that diminish either soul involved. It holds space for transformation while declining to enable destruction. This requires a level of spiritual strength that develops only through experience, trial, and error. You are being trained in the art of detached love, caring deeply while releasing the need to control outcomes. This is perhaps the most challenging lesson for souls embarking on the path of awakening. Your human heart wants guarantees, timelines, and visible progress. But spiritual missions unfold according to divine timing, not human urgency. Learn to find peace in uncertainty. Discover joy in the journey rather than fixation on the destination. Trust that love this profound was not given to you to torment you, but to transform you into something magnificent. The promise of breakthrough. What I am about to share with you has been witnessed throughout the ages by those initiated into the deeper mysteries. When two souls finally align with their divine assignment, when they step fully into the purpose that binds them, the results ripple far beyond their personal experience. Generational patterns shatter. Ancient wounds heal. Light penetrates spaces where darkness once reigned supreme. This is why the opposition has been so fierce. This is why the journey has felt impossible at times. Forces that benefit from humanity's separation and suffering work tirelessly to prevent these sacred unions from manifesting. But here is the secret that the darkness fears most. Divine love always finds a way. The breakthrough, when it comes, often arrives suddenly and unexpectedly. Years of apparent stagnation give way to rapid transformation. Obstacles that seemed permanent dissolve overnight. Hearts that appeared permanently closed burst open with the force of suppressed love, finally finding expression. But the breakthrough is not just about the two souls involved. When divine love successfully anchors through human relationship, it creates a vortex of healing energy that touches every life those souls encounter. Their love becomes a healing presence that transforms families, communities, and eventually the collective consciousness of humanity itself. Your persistence in the face of apparent impossibility is not naive optimism. It is spiritual maturity. Your refusal to abandon hope when evidence suggests defeat is not foolishness. It is the faith that moves mountains and transforms timelines. The ripple effect. Consider the profound impact your steadfast love has already created, even if union has not yet manifested. Every time you chose love over fear, you strengthened the field of divine love surrounding Earth. Every time you forgave instead of harbored resentment, you dissolved patterns of separation that extend beyond your personal experience. Your connection has touched lives you will never know about. People have witnessed your dedication and found hope for their own divine connections. Your example has given others permission to believe in love that transcends ordinary limitations. Your willingness to wait for divine timing has shown others that some things are worth the patience they require. This is how divine love spreads, not through preaching or teaching, but through demonstration. When others witness love this pure, this patient, this unwavering, something in their own hearts remembers what is possible. They remember that they too are capable of divine love. They remember that they too have spiritual assignments that transcend personal gratification. Beloved seeker, you who have listened to these words with recognition burning in your chest, know that you are not alone in this sacred journey. Across the globe, awakened souls carry similar missions, hold similar vigils, maintain similar faith in the face of apparent impossibility. You are part of an invisible network of lightworkers, each holding their assigned piece of the greater puzzle. Your steadfastness contributes to the healing of humanity itself. Your willingness to love beyond reason helps restore faith in divine connection for all who witness your example. If this message has illuminated the path you walk, if it has provided clarity for the mission you carry, I invite you to subscribe to the Light of Wisdom. Join our community of awakened souls as we explore the mysteries that conventional wisdom cannot explain. Together, we keep the ancient wisdom alive in modern times. Your presence in our community creates a field of support that strengthens every divine connection currently manifesting on Earth. The eternal promise. The next time that sacred name weighs upon your heart, when their presence fills your dreams with inexplicable longing, when synchronicities confirm what logic attempts to deny, do not dismiss these experiences as wishful thinking. Recognize them as communications from the realm of spirit, confirmations that your mission continues, reminders that divine love never abandons its assignments. Stand firm in your knowing. Trust the process that unfolds beyond your ability to control or understand. And above all, remember that you were chosen for this path not because it would be easy, but because your spirit contains the strength to walk it successfully. The love you carry is older than time and stronger than death. It has survived the fall of civilizations and the birth of new worlds. It will outlive your human form and continue across lifetimes until its purpose is complete. You are the guardian of something eternal, the keeper of a flame that illuminates the path for all who seek true union. The story is far from finished. The greatest chapters remain unwritten, and somewhere in the mystery of divine timing, the perfect moment approaches when all will be revealed, when purpose will be fulfilled, when love will triumph over every obstacle that dared to stand in its way. Until that moment arrives, beloved chosen one, remain faithful to the light that burns within you, for you are the keepers of humanity's greatest hope, the guardians of love's eternal promise, the living proof that divine connection transcends every limitation this world attempts to impose. The universe conspires in your favor. Trust the journey, embrace the mystery, and never ever give up on the love that heaven itself has written into the fabric of your soul. This is your assignment. This is your glory. This is why you came to Earth at this pivotal moment in human history. The light of wisdom burns eternal within you. Let it shine.